if I could go back 9 weeks to the day I received my 255 layer pullets, there are 5 things I would do differently. Some of these lessons cost me money, some cost me beds, and some I only learned because I made mistakes. So if you're planning to start raising layer pullets, let me save you from making some of the mistakes I made. The first thing is about vitamin E supplementation from day 3. I didn't know about it. I only came to realize it when I saw some of my beds showing some symptoms, a weary neck, a twisted neck, and all of a sudden the chicks would die off. So I only knew about it when I started losing chicks. The second thing is weighing the feed. When I started, I thought I just needed to give as much as possible. Yes, for the first few weeks you need to give ad libitum. It simply means let the birds eat as much as they can. But later on I didn't know that I needed to start measuring the feed as soon as possible. So that cost me a little bit because I could feel the feeds all the way up, and I noticed that the birds were just spilling the feed off the feeders, and that was some loss on my end. The third thing I learned quite a little bit later was that I needed to be turning the litter frequently. So after some time you notice that the litter, which is the bedding for the chicken house, it gets to cake up and it gets to be uncomfortable for the birds, and you need to be turning it every now and then so that it's comfortable for the birds. And that's one thing that I didn't know when I was starting. Number 4 is about the vaccines. So quite alright, I knew that I needed to be giving vaccines. I needed to give quite a number of vaccines, but I didn't know that the vaccines for layers are different from those of broilers. The strains are different. You might have, for example, a vaccine for infectious bronchitis, yes, but it will be different from the one that is given to layers and broilers. And the mistake I made initially was to give a vaccine for infectious bursal disease, gumburo, for broilers instead of giving the strain that was recommended by my hatchery. So that's one thing I didn't know. And also that these vaccines actually come in 1000 as minimum doses, so I quite didn't know about that. It's only that something that I learned when I was already in it. So the time if you watched my previous videos, you realize that there was a point I was out of away from the chicks for some time. That's the time I went to buy these vaccines, and I was surprised to notice that actually they come in 1000 as minimum doses, most of them. The last thing that I didn't know when I was starting was the lighting schedule. I didn't know that I needed to start regulating the lighting schedule. Yes, the hatchery had supplied some lighting schedule for me, but because at that time I hadn't yet gotten the digital timer that could help me to switch off the lights automatically and turn them on after a certain number of hours. So I didn't know about that, but later on as I began the journey, I realized I needed to be doing that, and luckily for me I managed to do that. So these are the few tips I learned on the way, and if these tips would help someone that is starting from scratch like myself, then I know I would have helped someone to avoid the mistakes that I made. So if you are new to this channel, I document each and every step that I'm taking as I start poultry business from scratch. Remember, I started with 255-day-old chicks, and right now they are about 9 weeks and some few days. So please like, subscribe and share so that you get to be notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you.